Thank you everyone for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, Chair. I also thank University of French Polynesia for funding the travel to come here for this presentation. Today I would like to present some of the Okay. Okay. Today I would like to present some of the initiatives that were taken at the USP Emalus campus in Vanuatu in building some of the national capacity in terms of students' participation, staff and various organizations. I would like to give a small background of what is Emalus campus in Vanuatu. It is one of the 12 USP regional campuses and it has a 30 years of history, but the most of the campus it is dominated by the law courses, being a law campus. Other courses like social sciences and science courses were not many, but even though they are offered one or two, they are being offered through online courses where students has to resort to various online resources. But the USP has considered introducing face-to-face courses in sciences for the first time in Vanuatu at Emalus campus in 2015, where I was appointed as a lecturer in chemistry for Vanuatu. From there onwards, we slowly started to have our 100 level students. Slowly then in 2017 we moved to 200 level courses. But still, if a student want to complete, that is to graduate in Vanuatu, he has to travel to Fiji to complete his bachelor's in science. And most of the students, even though we have around 2000 students, as I said earlier, most of them are law students and some of them are preliminary and foundation, that is the bridging courses that we offer after someone who fails at the school, they want to come to university, so they have to take this prelim and foundation courses. So most of our students are dominated by these, and still we are moving forward in having some of the science courses. So after being there in 2015, I thought that it was a bad choice of mine as a chemist going into a place where you don't have a lab or colleagues or staff or administration. So all these kinds of things. I thought that it was a very bad decision of mine going to Vanuatu being a chemist. The whole 2015 went by like that. Let us see what happens with this limited number of students, how I have to do my own research, what are the facilities here. Slowly I started to dig into various kinds of relations and see how I could manage myself to do research that will be not only useful for myself, but USP and Vanuatu region and all these kinds of links. So slowly I started to interact with these various kinds of stakeholders within USP, within region, within the Vanuatu. Slowly that allowed us to have some connectivity. Okay, we have someone in Vanuatu now who is a lecturer in chemistry. So these people like ministries, NGOs, communities, departments, due to the regular interaction over the 2015 and 2016, they could come up to see that there is a person we can talk, there is a person who will help us in forming some of the logistics for our research, or we can talk to him in regards to research. So all these negotiations that were started, and I have informed that I will be available in giving my services in framing any kind of issues that they are looking at. But it was a long discussions and I have to be constantly reminding the ministries, departments, going to them, seeking for that. Do you have someone coming into the country? Can you give their contacts, what for they are reaching into the community. So all these discussions went out for 2015 and 16. Still I couldn't find anyone, but slowly, because of the presence and constant request made to these kind of institutes like the ministries and departments and meeting various NGOs. Finally, people started to come and interact and all these things. So, in these interactions, let us say someone coming from Australia to Vanuatu to do a climate change research, someone wants to come to do a social science research, someone is interested in marine pollution. When that information has been reached to me, then I started to negotiate them that what advantages you are looking at being collaboration with USP and what logistic supports that you would like to have. Would you like to have an office space at the campus? Are you looking for a laboratory in the campus? Are you looking for any scientific information that you are looking at? So, slowly these negotiations in terms of all these aspects were discussed with the people who are coming for doing their research studies or preliminary studies or investigations, consultancies, case studies. In all these discussions, these were the points that were deliberately discussed with them, and finally a collaboration was made based on these agreements. And in these collaborations, because I am a single person in the campus in terms of science, in terms of all subjects like chemistry, biology, physics or engineering. So, I thought that let us say whatever the collaborators are asking in terms of their projects, or they are coming for consultancy, some masters and PhDs coming from various universities. So, I thought that let us help in terms of giving them the research questions, that these are the topics that Vanuatu needs to be requesting for doing research, or this is the way that you have to do the research in Vanuatu, this is the way that you have to approach to the community, this is the way that you have to approach to the ministries, he is the contact person or she is the contact person, this is the permits that you have to take. So, all kinds of helps in regards to research and logistics were offered to these collaborators who are willing to come to Vanuatu and want to do some study or research in terms of their requirement. So, as part of the discussion, because it is not for the sake of mine that I am collaborating with these incoming researchers to Vanuatu, but the back of the mind is that students should be in the center stage of these research activities, which was lacking in the campus or in the country in terms of science. So, I started to make the students to be part of these research studies in form of research assistants, in form of enumerators, volunteers, translators, and that has really made a big change. Because until then the whole country had never experienced that students being part of a research study, going into the sea, talking with the scientists, discussions with them, framing the question work, surveying the form. So, all these activities for the students has really benefited in one way or the other. Now, they are really motivated that we have to take part these kind of activities as part of our life. In either it comes to the social sciences, either it comes to the marine studies, climate change, whatever it may be. We are offering various services to the collaborators, where students are the center part, and they are also gaining so much of information in moving along these scientists. As part of the capacity building, we have also have attachments. Not only the students are going to benefit. Let us say if some water expert is coming into the country from University of New South Wales or Oxford University, we ask the scientists to go and visit the Ministry of water resources, then ask him to see what are the facilities and how the capacity can be built, and give some training to the staff who are having very preliminary knowledge of water quality standards. Like that, we are offering attachments to the government departments, and we are also attaching these researchers to the community leaders, because most of the small islands, they don't have the departments, people will be visiting them. So, we are asking the chiefs of the community or community members, where the water body qualities or social sciences parts, or NGOs that are working in Vanuatu, we are also attaching them to NGOs, that these are the people who are working here. So, you should attach your work to them, so that they will also give some preliminary information that you are looking at. So, both will have a win-win situation. In all these attachments that we are looking at, there should be a complete knowledge transfer. Let us say I am coming from Australia to Vanuatu. I should not be a person that I am taking some data and going out of the country. We are looking at that how this person who is coming from Australia, New Zealand or elsewhere in the world is transferring his knowledge to the student or the community leaders or departments or the NGOs, in form of a workshop, in form of a training, in form of a discussion, in form of giving some equipment to them, in form of giving some materials, or at least motivation to do the things. It's not just coming and taking the data and presenting somewhere else. I did some research in Vanuatu. There is no point that I submit the results here and discuss with people, where ni Vanuatu has covered all those things. No one reads those publications. So, we are asking them to transfer the knowledge on the ground, rather than submitting elsewhere in the conference or publishing elsewhere. And we are also, as part of the agreement, seeing that these people will develop the skills. Let us say in water quality, let us say in enumerations, let us call it in mathematical calculations, whatever it may be. And we are also asking them, as part of the collaborative agreement, that you should take these local people, that is either the government department staff people or community members, into your place and give your on-board training, because some of the equipment that is not available in the country, so you can train them at your place and send them back after the training. And also we are asking them not just train for one time and go for giving speeches, but we are also asking to donate equipment for the capacity building. So, like that we have been attaching all these capacity building parts. So, as part of these activities of capacity building at the campus, we are pleased to inform you that we have secured 7 projects being based at our campus now, and we have funding around 850,000 Fijian dollars fund was given in capacity building, and we have equipment which was donated by various collaborators around 220,000. We have conducted 4 workshops. We have conducted 18 public seminars by eminent people as part of the knowledge transfer, and some of them which are in pipeline, that 6 projects. So, along with the collaborators, we have submitted to various organizations which funding raise of 1.5 million Fijian dollars, and we are procuring around 4,000 Fijian dollar equipment. And in 2018 we have planning of 3 workshops to be conducted. And the people that we are working, that I am working in, as a sense to have this capacity building, we are working with the Coral Reef Alliance to see about how the coral reefs in Vanuatu marine shores are working out. And we are also working with CIFAS from the National University or National Research Centre of UK government for various kinds of projects that come under Commonwealth Marine Economics Program. And we are also working with the New Zealand National Research Centre, environmental research, in part of building water resilience and climate change studies. We are also working with Woodhole's Oceanographic Institute from the Massachusetts, USA, in regards to identifying the effects of climate change. And we are working with the Ocean Foundation to see how the oceans are being acidified in and around Vanuatu. And we are also working with Vanuatu Cultural Center, as we have an MOU with them to exchange information and to exchange the projects that they are doing and take our students as on board for the collaborations. And with various kinds of universities that we are currently working, we are working with Oxford University, we are working with Griffith, University of New South Wales, University of Technology, University of Otago, Regional University PNG, Swiss Federal University, University of Bern. So, we are working with a wide variety of collaborators who we have convinced them, in other sense, that you have to transfer this knowledge by coming into Vanuatu, or you take up the project in Vanuatu. So, they successfully now had our support in doing their research in Vanuatu. Not only in Vanuatu, in some of the other Pacific countries also, we are lending them support in terms of framing the research question, giving the logistics support, giving the valuable information and giving attachment for the students. So, our capacity buildings, as I discussed earlier, include the involvement of students. It is not that the scientists come and sit in my office, use my lab and go. They have to take the student on board along with them, either to the field or in the surveys, whatever them. We are asking them to enlighten them by sharing that knowledge on the field. It is not in my office or in the lab to do that. Some of the pictures, this is the coral reef restoration project, this is the marine projects. So, we are asking them to take the students on board. That is what we have been requesting. A batch of 15 students, 20 students, 10 students, depending upon what they require and that what they are looking at. So, at least I expect that if all the students might not be enlightened or motivated, at least one of them will be motivated to be a marine scientist, to be an environmental scientist or a climate change scientist, a social scientist or any engineer or a doctor, whatever it may be, and will help in the national capacity. Because when we are transferring the knowledge at a tender age, like first year of bachelor's or second year of bachelor's, so when they grow up into third year or final year, when they are graduating, they will be motivated to take up the higher levels. As part of the capacity building, as I told you that the collaborator has to give a seminar to the whole campus, the students who are interested as a public seminar, and present his study, why he is in Vanuatu, or what for he is coming, not just coming into Vanuatu, silently doing his work and again going back. No one knows what for he is coming. That is why we ask them to present. This is the purpose that I am entering into Vanuatu. This is the things that I would like to. This is the way that I am doing that. This would be my outcome. This would be the useful thing that I am giving to Vanuatu. So, let us these students know that in the platform of a seminar, so that the whole debate will be opened up between the students. Okay, today I have a scientist, he will go to his house and will speak to his mother, his parents, friends, brothers. Today a marine scientist came to our college, a social scientist came. He is discussing about culture, he is discussing about custom practices, he is discussing about climate change. This is the thing. So, we want to diverse that discussion and open up the discussion. So, some of the seminars that we have conducted and workshops. And as a part of the capacity building also, we have been encouraging the students to be continuously participating in various kinds of surveys, so that they will be looking into various questions and the responses and how to segregate the data and how to enter the data. So, all these skills will be developed as the part of the surveys as enumerators or translators, whatever it may be. So, we are also able to see that these activities are not confined to the campus, but are widely published in the national newspaper, so that the whole communities, the other islands would know that what is happening in the main island, in the center, Port Vila. Because we have so many islands, sometimes the activities that were doing in Port Vila might not be reached through mouthword. So, that is why we use this as part of our communication, so that the whole country is aware of what the students are doing, why the scientists came to Vanuatu and how the students are related. In other sense, we are also targeting the publicity to reach to the politicians. Yes, we have to encourage these type of collaborations between the research and students. Let us have some more funding, let us have some new policies, let us have something. So, that communication is also as an important factor we are looking at. So, this is what I have, a small presentation for today. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
One more slide I forgot. As part of the collaborations, we have established so many MOUs with the incoming research collaborators as part of saying that you should give a seminar, you should give take the students on board, you have to take them as trainees, you take them to abroad. Some of the students went to UK as part of the exchange. Griffith students came here. Next year our students going to Griffith University. Some of them are going to Zurich next year. So many activities as part of the MOUs. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now open